In this video, I just wanted to briefly show you how you can mark your center spot when you are working with some flat design or any other design project. So if you want to simply make sure that you are reflecting some pieces of your artwork in relation to maybe like an absolute center of your artboard or a relative center, you can simply drag your guides out, and of course we got to do it first by initializing the rulers. So I'm simply going to hit Ctrl R on my keyboard. If you're on a Mac, just press Command R. And to drag a guide out, you can simply just drag it from the rulers, so from the vertical and the horizontal ruler, just like that. And as you can see, I really didn't pay too much attention if these guys are intersecting exactly in the middle of the artboard, because to tell you the truth, later in the process, when we are done with designing, we can simply align our artwork in relation to the artboard. I mean, make it align to the center of the artboard in our control panel or using the align functions. So you can do it like this. You can simply drag the guides out, and then simply when you are creating some elements, simply create one element, maybe make it black, and then you can simply reflect something in relation either to one of the guides. So I'm simply going to reflect this guide just like that. So in relation to the vertical guide, or maybe in relation to the horizontal guide, just like that. And there you go. Now you can be sure that these guys are well reflected in relation to the guide or this vertical or the horizontal guide. But if you want to be sure that you are aligning everything in relation to the center of the artboard, you want to mark the center of the artboard, here's what you can do. Let me just clear the guides really quick. So I'm just going to go to the View menu, Guides, and Clear Guides, just like that. And if you want to mark the center spot of your artboard, let me just zoom out real quick. Here's what you can do. You can actually use a tool that is called rectangular grid tool. And I am simply going to create a grid that would be something like that, and that would be bigger than my artboard. And if you simply press the left arrow key, you can see that you are decreasing the number of vertical dividers. And if I hit the down arrow key, you can see that I am decreasing the number, the amount of horizontal dividers. And if I now simply press the Shift key on my keyboard, I am constraining the proportions. So I'm creating a square. Yeah, I'm creating a square. So I'm just going to let go of the mouse, just like that. Maybe let me just make it black so you can see it. Let's make it black. Okay, so now just to be sure that my rectangle, well, my square is exactly in the center in relation to the artboard, I am simply make sure that I am aligning everything in relation to the artboard, and click simply these guys just like that to make it well, to move it exactly to the center of the artboard. And now what we would just need to do is to simply select these guys, go to the View menu, Guides, and I'm simply going to go with Make Guides to convert the rectangular grid into guides. So again, all you would really need to do, maybe let me just let me just clear the guides. Just like that. So again, with the rectangular grid tool, and it sits right under the line segment tool, I mean in this group. So the rectangular grid tool, I am simply going to create a grid, and of course your grid is going to look something like that. So again, I'm just going to press the left arrow key to decrease the number of vertical dividers, and down arrow key to decrease the number of horizontal dividers. Press the Shift key, just like that. Center the shape. Go to the View menu, go to the Guides menu, and then I'm just going to go with Make Guides. So this is how you can how you can mark the center of your artboard by using the rectangular grid tool. But if you don't want to use the guides, I mean you don't want to mark the center of your artboard, you could, and here's another way of making sure that you are reflecting or rotating elements in well, proportionately, let's call it like that. So let's say that I got 3 elements. I got one circle. Let me just create another one, just like that. And now I want to be sure that I am going to reflect this guy in relation to the center of this circle, just like that. So with this guy selected, with this circle, I'm simply going to initialize the reflect tool. So I'm going to press the O key on the keyboard. And when I hover over my circle, you can see that that I have this like a little tooltip being displayed that says anchor. And in this case, since it's a circle, of course, this anchor point is exactly in the middle, well, is marking like the middle part, is dividing actually the circle into two halves. So if I now simply alt click on it, and let me go just to the vertical reflection and hit copy, I can be sure that that I just reflected this guy in relation to exactly the center of this guy right here, of this ellipse. So again, let me just maybe make this guy, let me just delete it. Again, I got this guy selected. I'm going to initialize the reflect tool. I'm going to find the anchor point, this bottom anchor point, alt click on it and simply reflect this guy just like that. And if you can't see all these tooltips, that's most probably because you have your smart guides deselected. And in order to make them active, simply go to the view menu, then just find this option right here that says smart guides. So there you go. These are the three ways of marking a center point when working with a flat design or any design in Illustrator. So I hope this was helpful and see you in the next design.